FHS Season Tickets.
Welcome into another episode of FHS Season Tickets. I'm Michael.
I'm Nick.
I'm Miles.
And today we're going to be talking about the NFL Week 4, going through some predictions of the biggest games of the week. Starting off, Miles, with your Pittsburgh Steelers. They travel to Baltimore and take on the 2-1 Baltimore Ravens. I'll go to you first. What are you expecting from this game?
Well, the Ravens had a really bad game last week, so that obviously doesn't make them look too great, but the Steelers did too. And apparently the Bears are getting ranked much higher than they were. They actually looked like a team out there. So I'm not going to say the Steelers are going down. Just a bad week, and I think the Ravens had a worse week, and I think the Steelers can pull out the dub this week, even if it is away. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think the Steelers have this one for sure. The Ravens looked really awful against Jacksonville, just getting absolutely destroyed. And Steelers, obviously, in my opinion, are still a top 10 team, and I'm excited to see what they do with all their weapons they have. Mike, what are your predictions of this game?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm going to take the Steelers to get the win in this game. Baltimore looked awful in London, and now they're going to have to travel from London back to the United States without a bye week. That's going to be a really rough trip for them. So I do think Pittsburgh gets the win. The next game we are going to be going in is the LA Rams, surprisingly sitting at 2-1, taking on the 2-1 Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Nick, I'll go to you.
I think the Cowboys are going to win this one. I think they should have a lot more experience winning games, and I think the Rams are going to have to slow down their torrid pace going on right now, but the offensive line is going to be able to do, and I think that the Cowboys defense, much improved Cowboys defense, is going to put in some work against the Rams.
Nick, you couldn't have said it better, though. The Rams are off to a really good start, but I just can't see them beating the Cowboys. Cowboys are doing their job, and they started off a little bit rusty, but they're picking up the pace. Zeke's looking better each week, and I think that really covers that game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dallas as well. The Rams giving up 39 points to the San Francisco 49ers, who don't have a prolific offense. So I think Dallas puts up a lot of points. And while the Rams might put up some points against Dallas's defense, I don't think it's enough for them to get the victory. Next game going to be Detroit traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. And I'm going to start off this one. I'm going to take the Vikings in this game. I think at home with a much better defense than what Detroit has, I think they get the victory in a huge NFC North battle. Nick, who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really kind of close game for some pretty top-tier teams, not like the most elite of the teams in the NFL, but I also like the Vikings in this one. I think the Lions, while Stafford's putting in some work, I just think the Vikings are a more complete team. I don't think Case Keenum's going to be exploding for similar to what he did before, but I think the Vikings overall still have this one. Mike, or Miles, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go against it, though. I'm going to take the Lions. I just think the Vikings did not look complete against the Steelers. I watched that whole game, and I just don't think they look complete this year at all without their quarterback and quarterbacks, whatever's going on with them. And I think Stafford's going to live up to his contract this week again, and even if it is away, I think the Lions will pull it off.
Next game we're going to be previewing, Oakland traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Miles, I'll go to you first.
Well, I thought this game was going to be Oakland at home, but obviously, the Broncos at home is a big threat. I think they just have their own little atmosphere that they really enjoy there. And I don't even think Derek Carr can stop that. I think the Broncos have a higher chance to win, but it's going to be a very exciting game. It's two great teams, and a lot of young talent, a lot of old talent. I like it. So, what do you think, Nick?
Yeah, Denver at home is historically great. One of the better defenses of all time when they're at home. And, you don't agree?
No, I was about to cough.
Oh, Denver at home is really good, and this Oakland team has Derek Carr did a lot of fourth quarter comebacks last year, and that will not be happening against this Denver defense in my opinion. So I'm thinking Denver is going to get this one, which is going to be surprising because Oakland will have started off the year pretty bad, especially compared to last year.
I mean, it's 2-2, not horrible, but still.
Compared to what you would,
compared
to what you would think.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take Denver as well. Their home record in September is absurd in I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I know it's like win percentage and like.
Well, I mean, I guess being like maybe the air.
Yeah,
too.
that's why it is,
Undefeated.
but still, it's just ridiculous how often they win
Undefeated
at home
September.
early in the season. So I'm gonna go with Denver to get the win. Last game, I think it's Monday Night Football. Redskins traveling to Kansas City take on the Chiefs. Nick, I'll go to you first.
Kansas City, I'm thinking they're going to continue their run. I mean, they've beaten some pretty impressive teams, and they have really nothing wrong with their team. There's no faults in their team right now, and even with Eric Berry out, which is really surprising, like you feel bad for them almost, because if they had Eric Berry, that could like be looking like a pretty dominant defense. It still is a dominant defense, but with Kareem Hunt stepping up, Alex Smith playing out of his mind right now compared to what he usually does. And even if Alex Smith falls back to earth, you still have a solid quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over too much, and you have an offense that's clicking right now. So I think Kansas City's going to take this one.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are stellar this year. Especially being at home too. Monday Night Football, it's always a fun matchup. But Chiefs are just way overpowering to the Redskins, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a good matchup between the receivers and Norman. That man's got a big mouth.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But Chiefs, beating down the Patriots, defending champs, beating down, I just think they're a better team. I think they're going to be one of the best teams this year. So,
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take Kansas City at home. Just better team, getting them at home. I think there's a low chance that Washington plays as well as they do on Sunday Night Football. So a little bit of a regression. I think that Kansas City gets a pretty comfortable win. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up the video?
No, that's going to do it for this week, for this week's NFL preview.
What do you guys think about the Browns this week?
They're getting that dub.
Against who?
No clue, but they're getting the dub.
I don't know who we're playing either.
I don't know.
I forget.
That shows how diehard Browns fans we are. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of FHS Season Tickets. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more season ticket videos.
Either way, I think with the Rams.
This is. Yeah, Nick, you couldn't have said it better.
Thanks.
Nick, you couldn't have said it better though. The Rams are off to a really good start. I'm about to know myself.
That's the longest one of the day.
Go into Oakland.
Peter noises.
Denver take on the Broncos. Miles.
It's like